It was just an entire robot that folded out like this, and it had pneumatics that pushed everything up. So the end game is definitely important. I'll talk about identifying robots just very shortly. Anything else about the scouting sheet that you would consider putting on there? Yes.
Tubes dropped.
Tubes dropped, inaccuracies, that's all things to note down. The penalties. I know I drew a template for you, but let's get the motors running here.
Tubes dropped is a hard one to count in this particular game. And you're probably better off with tubes successfully replaced.
Well, another thing to keep in mind when people mention mechanisms, we should put down is what type of design the robot had. Like, let's say an elevator. I know don't talk about too much about specs, focus more on the generalizations, but that is also something to note down. Because the thing is here, in the notes, I said there's a lot of degree of freedom here. Who said you have to write anything? A lot of people on my team drew pictures. That's what we also have the initials. Who drew the picture for this match? It was kind of weird, but it's what the robot did to succeed.
Also, how many black tubes and where they were
How many
put?
black tubes? Is it able to place spoilers? How fast is it in doing that? What are the robot's role in the game?
Launch distance to the target.
Launch distance to the target. You can't really approximate that. You could say it was a Hail Mary shot, or it was pretty close, it was pretty good, stuff like that. That's all stuff to consider. Okay, so right now I'm going to go over some of the ways you can identify the robots out on the field. Like, every robot has its own specific design of putting on tubes, of shooting balls, of moving around. All these specs that you find that in the pit and on the field, see them play out. But the thing is, as a scout, what you have to do is, I said, observation is key. So what are some of the fast-paced things that you can know immediately by looking at the robot? The first thing that we want to know is determine, alright, so let's get into a little academics here, biology overall, alright? Shape determines function, right? I'm not good at bio, but I know that that's one of the things. So shape determines function.